Am I the asshole for giving my stepson a 20-minute time limit to return my car before I phone the police? Update in the comments. Character limit repost. This happened last night and I am extremely annoyed. Edits at the bottom. I am a 34 female doctor, and part of my job entails being on call for 1 to 3 nights a week, twice a month. My fiancé Dale 30 male has been saving with my stepson's mom to buy him a car for Christmas. My stepson Rex 16 male has a license already but always has to borrow his mom's station wagon or his dad's beat-up pickup truck. His mom's car is lame and embarrassing, and his dad's can only hold 1 passenger. Not practical for a teen. On to the main conflict. Rex texted me yesterday around 12 if he could borrow my car after school. His friends wanted to go to the mall but the bus route is too long. Could they borrow my car? I texted back a sorry but no, I am on call again. Can you ask your mom? He says no. I told him sorry but my answer is still no. I'm sure you will find a solution. Ask your friends and you can all figure it out. If you see where this is going, you are less shocked than I am. I was up in my home office, the room where I keep my switch, sewing machine, and laptop, so not an official office, when I heard Rex and his friends downstairs after school. I was going to see if they needed anything but they left after a few minutes. An hour later, I went to the kitchen, cleaning up the empty bottles and wrappers from their snacks. I saw the spot where I left my keys empty. I began to panic. First I bolted to the door. My car was gone. Immediately dialed my stepson. He picks up and it's obvious he's in a mall store that plays loud music. I told him to get his ass home now, and he laughed and said that I am not his mom. He'll be home whenever he pleases. I'm not proud but I told him that he has 20 minutes to get home or I call the police and report it stolen. Rex panics and said he couldn't find all his friends and drive home in 20 minutes. Told him tough shit. 10 minutes later I get a text that he is in the mall parking lot and will be home soon. I phoned Rex's mom and informed her of his stunt. She was madder than me when I told her that I was on call. She apologized and promised to talk with Rex and Dale ASAP. Rex came in, threw me my keys, locked himself in his room. Dale finally came home around 8 and said he had been on the phone with his ex. He demanded to know why I punished his son. I put my foot down and explained I am on call, that means I need my car. Rex stole my car. Dale disagrees. His ex agrees with me and decided she will not be buying Rex a car anytime soon due to his entitlement. Dale thinks that I am making a big deal out of nothing. I didn't end up going into work, so why did I have to threaten Rex? I have only gone in twice this year while on call. Just because nothing happens doesn't mean that I am always clear. Rex is now grounded. Fiancé barely speaks to me. Asks me when I'm going in today, I'm not, and if I will apologize. I am not budging and am still pissed he doesn't get it. Am I the asshole? Editing because it came up in the comments. Dale is 30 not 29, but yes he was 14 when Rex was born. Don't get hung up on this, it isn't about teen parents. Rex's mom was 15 when they had him and is the best mom if you ask me. She's who introduced me to Dale. Edit 2. Now I can see why my friend told me this sub can be a little much. I am very thankful for these responses but I think I am going to leave the comments now and have a very frank discussion with Dale tonight. Rex is with his mom so he won't be in the middle or get involved. Kid still wouldn't look at me and called me a bitch who won't let him get his own car now. Not the asshole. Rex took your car even after you said no, and Dale is okay with that? Teenagers need boundaries and rules, and parents need to enforce those. Dale is the asshole and he's setting Rex up to be one, too. Rex owes you an apology, not the other way around. He demanded to know why I punished his son. Agreed that Dale is the asshole, while original poster is not the asshole. Original poster didn't even punish this kid. She simply demanded that he return the property that he stole. The son rudely refused, so original poster had no choice but to let him know that there would consequences for his actions if he didn't return the car. Dale is completely off base if he thinks his son did nothing wrong and that original poster should apologize. Even the ex thinks he is being 100% unreasonable. What would original poster even be apologizing for? Original poster's fiancé is just telling his son that he co-signs his theft, disrespect of original poster. It's like he thinks that just because original poster didn't end up having to go in it should be okay for this kid to commit Grand Theft Auto? Clearly he has little respect for how being in an on-call job works. That reasoning is like saying he can borrow all your savings because he doesn't expect there to be an emergency that requires you to dip into your savings anytime soon. That's just not how any of this works. So apparently, Dale reads through this subreddit on his work breaks. He texted me a link to my post during his dinner break. A short time later I first received a call from Rex's mom, who said that Dale called her and ranted about how I made him look bad online. She told him that she didn't give a fuck, because he did not react the way a good parent should. Dale was so furious that he told her that he would be calling his mother to see if someone actually cared about his feelings. Dale's mother handed his ass back to him good, and reiterated to Dale that he was not an active part in his son's life until he was 6, so he has no leg to stand on. Dale tried to bitch about how everyone was being unfair to him, She shut him up and told him that his son did something wrong and this is not about punishing him for being a bad father. Dale returned home a little while ago, about an hour earlier than he usually does. He looked defeated but he was still short with me. Said he was disappointed that I posted and now everyone who knows will think he's a joke and a bad father. I didn't think this conversation would end up with my ending the engagement and relationship, but it did. The house is all in my name, so Dale is packing up his shit and crawling back to his mom's house. The wedding wasn't set, so no money or time lost there. Dale said so many things that I don't even want to write down. This is not the man who I have known for 4 years and I am honestly shocked at how selfish he is. He said my doctor money would have to buy Rex a car to make up for all of the hard feelings. I am astonished at how delusional he is. I am done with this account and will not be returning. Edit to add that also, the fact he wasn't in Rex's life till age 6 was a huge red flag to me. He never mentioned it and refused to admit it was a big deal during the argument we had when he came home. Jesus. Sending internet hugs original poster. Sorry for something so important to end over something so stupid and ridiculous. At least it showed you before you were too committed what you were getting into. The universe did original poster a massive favor here, as there were a few indications that she was seeing Dale through rose-colored glasses. I'm also glad the kid's mother is free of him. This guy is a real piece of work. Shocking that he can't hold down a relationship. Not the asshole. Your stepson is clearly entitled because he did steal your car. He even had another option but it wasn't cool enough? And he thinks so little of you it wasn't even of consequence in his mind to take your car and throw the keys at you afterward. The threat of calling the cops was a perfect response because it seemed to be the first time he was shown that his actions have consequences. Your fiancé? That's even worse. He damn well knows better what on call is, and regardless of that, you saying no means no. Why is not a question. If you don't want him to take your car, he should respect that. Your fiancé playing this off is a huge problem, because it excuses your stepson's behavior. This is a relationship-ending problem. Do not budge though, or his behavior will get worse. I got my driver's license before all my friends in high school. My mom graciously let me drive her minivan most times after I asked. At first, I was embarrassed because it was a big bulky Toyota Sienna, but my friends didn't care. It just meant that more people could ride. It also helped that the stereo system had amazing bass. My first car was a Buick LeSabre, sky blue, named Big Bessie. It took her 27 seconds to go from 0 to 60, and it had an 8-track player during the era when most new cars had CD players. My parents bought her when I was at camp, and when I saw the car in the driveway for the first time, I was so excited because I thought my grandparents had shown up for a surprise visit. They had a very similar car. It definitely wasn't cool, but it was a car. My parents fully paid for it. It got me from place to place. It could comfortably seat like 7 people, 3 in front, 4 in back, and it lasted me and my sister all through high school and college. Driving to high school, I would encounter my car's twin headed the opposite direction almost every day. Me and the other driver would always give each other the sup head nod as we passed by. The other driver was a guy who looked to be about 85 years old. I wasn't sure I'd love the car when my parents first bought it, but I really came to appreciate having a car with character. And if I'd treated Bessie with the kind of entitlement that this kid treats cars, my parents would have up and sold it in a heartbeat and I'd have been taking the bus until such a day that I grew up and bought my own car. Team mom and stepmom here for sure. Dad sucks and is going to ruin that kid by not punishing his bad behavior. What a fuck. Your fiancé is a walking red flag. He's a terrible parent and he doesn't even realize it. Stealing a car is a big deal. This is not a gray area. No offense, but you're a doctor. You have your shit together. You can do better than a man who expects you to apologize when his son commits a felony. Life is too short to be married to a shitty parent. This right here, life is too short for you to be treated with disrespect by his man and his son. There are lots of good men who are single. Why do they both feel it is okay for them to be disrespectful to you? Your car. You told him no. He stole it. Period. Might want to reconsider marriage to a man who feels it okay for his son to take your property with no remorse. And then have the gall to demand an apology from original poster. And now Rex is calling original poster names? I think they both need to go. Not the asshole. You handled it correctly. Tell your husband that you were not punishing his son. You would have handled it the same regardless of who stole your car. Since it isn't your husband's car, he doesn't get a vote in how you handle the theft of your property. Tell your husband and his son that this was the only courtesy call. If your car disappears again, the police will be the first call. I would also withdraw the offer to help with the stepson's car fund. I mean, technically original poster didn't punish him. She just told him to return her property in a given timetable. Considering he stole said property, that is more polite than I would be. Greater than Rex panics and said he couldn't find all his friends and drive home in 20 minutes. Told him tough shit. This is such a supremely satisfying example of fuck around and find out. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I am beyond sick of seeing the argument that a step-parent shouldn't parent but that they also have to parent. How does that work? People complain if you don't care, if you don't involve them, if you don't treat them as your own. But the moment you treat them as your own, or care, or oh Lord forbid you set rules and expectations that are perfectly reasonable, it then changes to you overstepping your boundaries. You have an amazing relationship with his biological mother who clearly was understanding and supportive of the issue. It doesn't matter if you did or did not get a call. You said no, set the boundary, and legally it was your vehicle. If he had an accident, you are liable, not him. The idea it is just teenage rebellion is a no-brainer. Teenagers are often idiots and self-centered in their interests and wants, even if they are overall a good kid. It's called tough love, and sometimes you have to be willing to go that extra step. Agreed, they are expected to support them financially, but how dare you discipline them? Not the asshole. Do not marry this man. This. Also, Rex is calling you ABTCH and Dale is okay with this misogynistic crap? You can do better than Dale. Not the asshole. This is just the beginning of your life with Dale. His son disrespecting you, Dale saying no big deal, and why are you overreacting? Face the facts, and realize that you are not going to be a priority in this relationship. You have to decide if you can live with being treated like a second-class citizen in your own home. Not the asshole all day and night. BTW. I just have to comment on this. Greater than and his dads can only hold one passenger. Not practical for a teen. Not sure if you are in the US, but check your state laws. Many states these days are limiting the number of passengers that a provisional driver can have in the car with them while driving. For example, in Texas, a driver under 18 cannot have more than one passenger under the age of 21 unless they are a family member. Distracted driving is extremely dangerous, and kids get very distracted when their friends are in the car. My first thought too, since my state has it as well, but didn't know if others did. Not the asshole. The kid quite literally stole your car, and Dale is telling you that you overreacted? Making a big deal out of nothing. The two of you are engaged. You are going to become a permanent step-parent and fixture in this kid's life. If Dale thinks that Rex stealing your car is nothing, the two of you need to have a serious talk. This isn't just a case of a parent trying to protect their kid, because a police record could mess up their future or whatever. It's a case of the kid doing whatever they want, because they know that dad will always side with them over you, and Daddy Dale is going right along with it. He wanted to play the she's not a parent card. So Rex found out exactly what happens when you take someone else's car without permission. You are 100% not the asshole. Stealing your car is completely unacceptable. And fiancé is 100% wrong for enabling his son. It seems to me that father and son have serious immaturity issues, and need to work on becoming responsible adults. However, I wouldn't wait around holding my breath for that to happen. Please reconsider whether you want to live with these two. 1. You're not taught. I'm a doctor and I know what is to be on call. You can't even sleep properly waiting if the phone will ring, and if it does you need to be at the hospital as soon as you can. 2. Your fiancé's son literally grabbed your car without permission, knowing that you need it for work and the responsibility you had not only with work but with your patients. He laughed when you called to ask it back. He said, "You're not his mom," so he literally is bypassing your authority and you should have pressed charges. He is an entitled kid. He doesn't even clean after the mess he does. 3. Your joke of a partner and a father figure, the one you call fiancé, is not only belittling your authority but also your work. 4. You should really consider marrying this guy because you're going to become stepmom of two entitled teens. His actions show you he won't be your aid and support. He will probably quit working and play on your Nintendo Switch with his kid all day. Heads up. Ironically, his mother agreed he was completely in the wrong.